No ordinary geography lesson can prepare you for what we have in store. This is your ticket to explore the captivating world of useless geography facts, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the mundane becomes mind-blowing. Join us as we embark on an unforgettable journey through the offbeat side of our planet. There are many lakes in Canada. Given that Canada is the second largest nation on the globe, the presence of several lakes there may not be surprising. But you may be surprised to learn that the nation is home to more than half of the world's natural lakes. The country is impressively covered with fresh water, 9% of it. Despite having a coastline that is entirely on water, Australia does not have the longest coastline in the world. You'd assume that, with its own continent and total oceanic encirclement, Australia would be the nation with the longest coastline. That honor belongs to Canada, however. Australia only has 16,000 miles of coastline, but Canada has 152,100 miles. Australia actually comes in at number 7 on the list of countries with the longest coasts, after only Indonesia, Greenland, Russia, the Philippines, and Japan. More than Mount Everest, Mount Chimborazo is closest to outer space. Since Mount Everest is the highest peak on Earth, it makes sense that its summit would also be the highest point on Earth, and hence the nearest to outer space. But things start to become fascinating if you realize that the Earth has a small oval shape. Because of the small inflation of our planet's equator, nations like Kenya and Ecuador enjoy an advantage. The summit of Ecuador's Mount Chimborazo, which is just 20,564 feet high, is now higher and hence closer to the stars. Nearly all of the fresh water on the planet is found in Antarctica. The Antarctic ice sheet is the world's biggest solid ice mass, covering 14 million square kilometers, approximately 5,400,000 square miles. 90% of the fresh water on Earth is contained in the massive frozen structure. There are 14 nations that border both China and Russia. China and Russia, the biggest countries in the world, have about equal numbers of land neighbors, despite China being just slightly more than half the size of Russia. India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Russia, North Korea, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Nepal are among the 14 nations that border China. The Carcross Desert in Canada is the smallest desert in the world. The Carcross Desert, sometimes referred to as a desert, is really a group of sand dunes that are situated in Yukon, Canada. Being just 1 square mile in size, it is regarded as the tiniest desert in the world. Though uncommon for a desert, it gets a significant quantity of precipitation. Florida is located closer to Africa than California is. When comparing the distance between land masses, Key West, Florida, is around 4,000 miles from the northwest coast of Africa. In comparison, it is around 2,500 miles from Florida to the western coast of California. This information emphasizes how large the Atlantic Ocean is when contrasted to how wide the United States is. The world's highest mountain is not Mount Everest. Although Mount Everest is the tallest mountain when measured from its base to its summit, it is not the tallest mountain when compared to other mountains. This honor belongs to the Hawaiian volcano Mauna Kea. Only the top of Mauna Kea, which towers to a height of around 33,500 feet, rises above sea level. Liechtenstein has 2 landlocked regions. A nation without direct access to the sea is said to be landlocked. Other landlocked countries encircle Liechtenstein, however, taking things a step further. It has 2 landlocked borders with Switzerland and Austria, making it a double landlocked nation. This distinctive geographic feature is quite uncommon across the globe. Zambia and Botswana have the world's smallest international boundary. The length of the border between Botswana and Zambia is just approximately 150 meters, 490 feet. There is a border separating the 2 countries at the confluence of the Chobe and Zambezi rivers. It is a unique illustration of a very short international border. The Atacama Desert in Chile is the driest region on Earth. The Atacama Desert in northern Chile is often referred to as the planet's driest region. It averages less than 1 millimeter, 0.04 inches, of rainfall each year. Due to its closeness to the Pacific Ocean and the Andes Mountains, which provide a rain-shadow effect, the area is very dry. Texas has plenty of room for all of the world's population. The whole Earth would only occupy 250,000 404 square miles if it were as densely populated as New York City. That implies that Texas could accommodate the whole globe. For comparison, the Earth would occupy 1,769,085 square miles if it had a population density equal to that of Houston, Texas. Even still, it is rather astounding to think that more than 7 billion people might fit into a space that is less than half the size of the United States. We hope you enjoy delving into the intriguing and often surprising side of our planet. Remember, knowledge is meant to be shared, so go ahead and impress your friends and family with these mind-bending tidbits.